So our court system is innocent to proven guilty, right? That's what it's supposed to be, innocent until proven guilty. That's what it say on our constitution or whatever. But guess what? That is not the fact at all whatsoever. You are guilty until proven guilty, period. Or guilty until proven innocent. But the one thing I know for sure is you are guilty. You are never innocent until proven guilty. Because number one, they get a warrant on you or take you to jail. You're going to have to go to jail, be booked, okay? And then you're going to have to pay a bond if you don't get the PR bond out, which barely I ever get the PR bond out. And if you cannot PR bond out and you have a bond and you don't have nobody to pay your bond, you're gonna sit in that bitch till you go to court, right? You're gonna sit in there till you go to court. How is that innocent until proven guilty? You are guilty if you gotta sit in jail, correct? And this how the court system works. See, they try to get us to take pleas. They want us to plead guilty. And it's almost better to plead guilty than anything else that you could possibly do. Because the jury trial ain't it. A jury trial is not it. Okay, because I promise y'all this. If you get found guilty in a jury trial, they don't have to give you the maximum, but most likely they are going to give you the maximum time. Are they going to give you a whole lot of time if you get found guilty? They're not going to give you the little bit of time they would have gave you with a plea because they're mad because you spent their taxpayer dollars and then you got found guilty. So they're going to crucify your motherfucking ass, period. Now let me give y'all an example, okay? Because usually I'm guilty. Usually I am guilty when I go to jail, but I have went to jail and been innocent before. I have. One time they served me all the warrants. They came with like 75 fucking warrants, right? When I first got in trouble, when I first started going to jail, right? 75 fucking warrants, all off probable cause and circumstantial evidence because they think that I might have did this one. They charged me with all the rest of them, right? And then they got me in court and wanted me to take a plea, right? And to choose which one of these charges. Well, I know I did some of them, but y'all got me on 75 charges. Of course I'm gonna have to take this fucking plea, all right? And it's another time where I've had a charge that I was innocent of, and it's like the number one charge they wanted me to plea of, and because of my criminal record and shit, if I go before a jury, they gonna find me guilty, right? They always gonna find you guilty because they looking at you like you a criminal. If they can bring your past up, then you gonna be a criminal. So it's almost better to freaking plead guilty and take a little bit of time than risk your ass in a jury trial and get fucking crucified. So either way, you are guilty, baby. You guilty and probably will never get proven innocent, even if your ass is innocent. And a bench trial. I'm here to tell you, a bench trial is damn sure not ever, ever, ever the way to go. I learned that the hard way, okay? A bench trial is when you go to a jury trial and you decide you don't want to go to the jury trial. So you go and you stand in front of the judge and then he decides your fate. Okay, he gonna be mad at you because you wasted taxpayer dollars with that jury, all right? And he already gonna be in his feelings and mad because it all depends on how the judge feel. So if he having a bad day, then you fucked. So if you cause him to have a bad day, he most likely gonna find you guilty. And when he do, he not gonna give you a little bit of time. He gonna crucify your motherfucking ass because you wasted taxpayer dollars on that jury and didn't even go stand before. I learned that the hard way. I sure did. And I'm telling you right now, that's not the way to go. No matter what, you always guilty in a court of law. Like, do you know how many people that's probably pled guilty to shit that they didn't do because it's the only way to not get like a large amount of time? Something needs to happen with our jurisdiction system. And then for the most part, it's a lot of people in there that can't afford lawyers, so they got to get a public defender or a public pretender. That's what the fuck we call them bitches. I'm here to tell you, they are not really working for you. Now I have one that really worked for me, John D. Law, shout out. He retired now, but he really put his heart in that shit. But for the most part, they don't give a fuck about you. If you don't take a plea, you best not take no jury trial with no public defender, because most time they not even gonna be prepared. They be having the county jail blocked, so you can't even call. Like, the fuck? You can't even call them. The only time you ever talk to them be on your court day. Like, and they don't give a fuck what happened to you, so you gonna have to take a plea. Or if you go to a jury trial, they not gonna work hard for you and you gonna be fucked, bro, because them public pretenders don't give a fuck. Like, for real, like, people getting crucified. We only got one life, and I don't care what y'all think. People like, oh, they need to be doing 40, 50 years. They need to be doing life. Nah, they need to be, everybody do have to be punished. I understand that, but we handing out time and not even giving people the correct way to present themselves in court, because they always gonna get found guilty. You always gonna be looked at as guilty, especially if you already a felon. You automatically guilty in their eyes, so you have no choice but to plead guilty. Something need to change. I'm just saying, because you are guilty till you found guilty, bitch.